Hi, my name is Rylee Zapata, and I'm going to be talking about philosophy in The Legend of Zelda. It's a quick, short presentation for my philosophy class. Okay, the introduction. The Legend of Zelda has always been a childhood game for many, with this meaning that many people do not take into account that there has always been a deeper philosophy than a child can see. There are several Legend of Zelda games to take into consideration that I picked out. I picked out five Legend of Zelda games that I would take into consideration. They are The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, and The Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds. The first game I'm going to talk about is Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening was originally published on June 6, 1993, and it was revamped in September 20th, 2019. This game has the philosophy of self-discovery and isolation. It is a tale about Link finding his way through an unfamiliar place far away from Hyrule and facing the challenges up against him. A quote from Socrates: The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates' quotes explains how instead of wasting your time and energy on the past, you could instead look towards the future and focus on building your foundation towards something greater and getting a grasp of your life. And Link's version's way, this quote could be seen as, instead of dwelling on his arrival and unfamiliar territory, he instead challenges his efforts and really focuses on becoming better and facing the challenges that come before him, rather than thinking about the old and unnecessary things before. The next game I'm going to talk about is Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time was originally released in Japan on November 21st, 1998, but in America, November 23rd, 1998, but it was released in various platforms in 2011. It follows Ocarina of Time. Basically, it follows Link traveling through time to stop Ganondorf from obtaining the Triforce and taking over the land of Hyrule. It focuses on destiny and personal growth and how time can change the world and individuals. In the quote, "The flow of time is always cruel. Its speed seems different for each person, but no one can change it. A thing that doesn't change with time is a memory of younger days, minute of forest." This quote explains in a psychological way how he still thinks of the past, and his memory must still have to grow up with time. Link knows now that he cannot stay in the past, therefore he knows that he must move on eventually and stop being stuck between his younger self. The third game I'm going to talk about is Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask originally was released in Japan on April 27, 2000, while in America it was released November 17th, 2000, but it was remastered in 2015. It follows Link as he navigates through the world of Termina, which will be destroyed in 3 days unless he confronts Majora's Mask inside the moon. Majora's Mask also tends to focus on hope and how he envies others. It shows this through townspeople constantly being in despair due to the arriving moon, while Link holds onto hope to save everyone from certain doom. Link envies others due to them having a normal life, while he is put into a hero role at a young life with immense responsibility. Two quotes that I picked out. Dehumanization is a psychological phenomenon of viewing others as being completely devoid of a human essence to the extent that they are seen not only as less than human, but other than human as well. Page 10 from the book by Smith. The other quote is, "Dehumanization doesn't only occur in wartime," says Nick Haslam. These two quotes can be applied to Majora's Mask. As for quote 1 is when everyone starts to lose themselves due to the fear of the moon colliding and some even going insane, turning into monsters. In the game of Majora's Mask, it explains that people were dehumanizing themselves into mummies in the game. And quote 2 explains being applied that even though people may not be in war, fighting, and stress, doesn't mean they cannot lose themselves to other forms of stress due to the rough circumstances, some being even worse off than Link in some circumstances. The fourth game I'm going to talk about is The Wind Waker. The Wind Waker was out in America on March 24, 2003, but in Japan, December 13, 2002. In the game Wind Waker, it talks about heroism, destiny, free will, and identity of Link's journey. In Link's journey, the Wind Waker involves him leaving his home, facing numerous challenges ahead of him, and defeating evil to restore his peace. A quote that says, "The people believed that the hero of time would again come to save them, but the hero did not appear. Faced by an onslaught of evil, the people could do nothing but appeal to the gods." From the Wind Waker intro. This quote explains how that the moment when the hero of time did not show, the people were in disbelief and hopeless that he did not save them from evil. They turned to the gods and praised that Link become the new hero to save the people from evil. And the last game I would be talking about is Link's Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds was released on November 22nd, 2013. This game follows Link trying to rescue Zelda and the Seven Sages from the villain Yuga, who seeks to merge the world of Hyrule and Lorule. It talks about how fragile the world can be and how different choices can shape the fate of the world using empathy and understanding. This quote says, "Empathy was the amused mechanism to gain access to the mind of others, and the latter resulted in understanding the other mind, whether there were other possible mechanisms to solve the puzzle of understanding other minds," by Mac Weber and Friend Versesum. This quote explains how Link's journey involves not just physical challenges, but also characters from both worlds, like why the antagonist reveals their actions to save their own crumbling world, using empathy and understanding to see the reasons of their actions, or her actions. Here's this video that explains the Legend of Zelda and timelines of each game that Link was in. It's a little history of it. It is 26 minutes long. If you're interested, you can go watch it on YouTube. It is called History of the Legend of Zelda Mainline series. And I'll play the video that shows that it works, and I'll move on.
I decided to partner with Hero to
well, there is an ad. So after this ad, it will play.
And bright eye.
Oh, right there.
Over 30 years, it has innovated.
So the video does work. If y'all guys want to, if you're interested, you can go watch it on YouTube.
Game design inspired count.
Usually does not let me go on to the next slide if this video does not get through. Okay. Alright, okay. In conclusion, The Legend of Zelda has always been a deep and psychological series with a much deeper story and lore that, if often overshadowed due to us being at a young age and not really being able to take in everything as just a child. However, if you really take the time to reflect, you can often see just how amazing these games truly are, with these games being a major example of just how deep they can get. Here are all of my works cited pages. Let's see. The History of the Legend of Zelda is the YouTube video. There's a link to that. The The Philosophy of Ocarina of Time and the Wind Waker are the two web pages. So this is a web page and this is a web page right there, and that's the YouTube video. This is the book right here, the college level book that I found for Majora's Mask. And the Dark Psychological Dehumanization is a magazine. No, I think it's a journal. It's a journal. It's a magazine or a journal. And these last two right here are also magazine and journals right here. All my works cited are right here. And thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned something from me about The Legend of Zelda. Thank you.